This is the four-part system behind every $40,000 per month coach that I work with. Now, look, maybe you have the audience, you have the expertise, you may even have a couple students already, but the brutal truth is your coaching program is probably a mess. Applications aren't converting, your funnel looks like it was built by a drunk intern, and you're spending more time trying to figure out email automations than actually coaching people. And the worst part about all of it is you know you should be making way more money than you are, and yet you're not. Now, here's the thing that nobody tells you: your offer is not the problem. It's your back end that is. I've built conversion systems for over 50 coaches across a dozen different niches and generated over $1.5 million over the past 2 years in sales. And every single coach that is making over $40,000 a month has the same exact four-part back end system. And I sprinkled in a couple dashboards here just so you can see that I know what I'm talking about. Over the past 3 months, 213K generated for one client, 165K for another one on the dashboard, and then you can see a 76K month here for another one. So the point is, it's not three parts, it's not five, it's exactly four. And that's the way it's going to stay for the foreseeable future for the way I run it. Now, when it comes to these four parts of the backend system, if you're stuck anywhere below 20K a month, you probably are missing at least three of them, if not all four. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down all four parts. I'm going to be showing you real life examples from clients that I've worked with, and I'm going to explain why most successful business owners completely fail when they try to launch their own coaching program. So the problem most coaches have is that you either don't have a landing page or you made one yourself using Card in like 2 hours, maybe 1 hour. And you can see here's kind of how this flows. You're either sending people to a very generic book a call page. There's no pre-selling, there's no trust building, there's no pre-handling objections. Or the worst case scenario that I see a lot is you're sending them straight to a Calendly link, like literally just a book a call with me and we'll talk about coaching. People don't know you, okay? They don't trust you. They don't understand what makes you any different than the thousands of other course sellers out there. So that's the first thing you have to tackle. Because let's be honest, who wants to hop on a call with a stranger without completely understanding what actually makes them different from the rest? So here's what actually works when it comes to landing pages. I build VSL style landing pages that speak to exact ICP pain points. It shows proof that we've done it before. It's going to pre-frame the call for them, and it's going to make the call a formality and not just a pitch that the prospect dreads showing up. So let me give you a real life example of this from a previous client of mine. I had a fitness creator client that was stuck at 8,000 a month. He had a decent following. I think it was like 15,000 on Instagram. He was posting consistently about training, nutrition, the type of stuff that I would want him to post about. But when he tried launching the coaching, he made a very basic landing page. He drove traffic to it from his stories, and he got maybe 20 applicants in the first month. Now, what came of that? He got 6 people to show up to a call. He closed one person. And why is that? That's because his landing page didn't do any of the heavy lifting. It didn't educate, it didn't build trust, and it certainly didn't handle any objections. So when people came on to that call, they had no trust for him. They didn't know what made him any different. And all of their objections were not pre-handled. He had to handle them on those calls, and most of the time they hopped off without closing. Now, when I hopped in on this offer, these are the core components that I changed. And I kind of highlighted it here into 5 different main points, and I'll break them down each one by one. So the first two is the pain point hook and the origin story. These both work together to speak to the ICP in their language, the way they want to be spoken to and understand. You're going to open with their specific struggle. Show them that you understand them. Show them that you were once in their shoes. You've tried every workout program, but you still can't see abs, right? Something along those lines. Now, what the origin story does is it's going to, like I said, show them that you were in their exact position. It's going to show what changed for you so that they can envision what can change for themselves. And you're going to build relatability. And by doing that, you're going to build trust with that audience. So once you've hit on their pain point and once you've given your story and connected with them, you're also going to have to show some proof. What we do for that is obviously testimonials, case studies. So some transformations of clients, some screenshots, some case study videos, whatever you have, shove it onto here, obviously in a strategic way, but you want to stack a ton of proof that you know what you're doing. And not only can you do this for yourself, but you can also help students get the similar results. Within this landing page, you're also going to want to preview the framework, which means show them what's inside the program. What are they actually getting? So you don't want to obviously show them everything and give them any sauce. You're just going to intrigue them. You're going to show them a system that makes sense. And you're going to create that, holy shit, I need this moment, right? That makes them want to book a call and want to buy from you. You also obviously need a strong CTA, so book a call to get this system built for you. This way they know what to expect, they're pre-framed, and you obviously are going to have an application form to qualify them with questions. Now the technical setup for this is pretty simple. I'm either going to use GHL or ClickFunnels to create the landing page itself, Typeforms for the application embed, and Calendly for the calendar embed, where the qualified leads can book a call themselves on you or your closer's calendar. And just implementing this landing page alone gave our fitness client these specific results. So we went to 40 applications, we doubled the application rate, we doubled the show rate. Now 61% still isn't very good, but we doubled it, and I'll show you how we made it even better, adding more systems. The close rate went from 16 to 38%, and he went from 8,000 to 52,000 in a month within 3 months, 90 days. Same traffic, same offer, different landing page and systems that I'm going to get into. And just so you can visualize it a little bit better, before he had a generic landing page, about 20 applications a month, 6 showed up, which is that 30% show rate, 16% close rate. And this is what we were able to do after. This isn't his dashboard. I just added it here as more social proof that I have dashboards and results. This is another client of mine, drop shipping, and we've done over 165,000 together just by selling high ticket. So that's the first part of the 4-part system. It is a ICP value dense VSL landing page. That was a lot of buzzwords, but that's what it is. Now, the second part of this system is a pre-call nurture sequence. When someone fills out your application, they're going to book a call and then probably get nothing. Am I right? Probably. Maybe you send them a text telling them you're looking forward to the call and confirming, but that's probably where it ends. They booked a call on Tuesday, the call is scheduled for Friday. What are you doing in between Tuesday and Friday to make sure that they show up? Probably nothing. And if you didn't realize it already, that's why your show rate is trash and it's 30 to 50%. Now here's what actually works. It's a 3 to 5 email sequence between booking and a call. And it's going to ensure that they show up. It's going to get them ready to buy, pre-handle objections before the call, and build anticipation, and more than anything, trust. So let me break down exactly what the sequence does. Now keep in mind, this is the bare bones version, okay? This is the minimal, this is the MVP, I would say, right? So what we usually do is we build onto this and do more of the hammer them strategy that Jeremy Haynes uses, which is instead of 3 to 5 calls before, it's 3 to 5 calls per day leading up to the call. But to keep it simple, this is what I would do if I was just doing 4 to 5 emails. So the first one is going to be sent instantly after booking. It's just going to set expectations. We're going to confirm the call and date. We're going to talk about what's going to be covered. We're going to give them some sort of homework, right? It's going to make it seem more important in their mind. So think about your biggest challenge, just making them prepare for the call. Because if you're preparing for a call, you're going to be 10 times more likely to show up. And then we're going to add the calendar link as well. The second email is going to go out about a day before the call itself. It's going to be a quick reminder. We're going to shove some case studies and testimonials in their face for that nurturing. It's going to be like this. Here's what similar person achieved in 6 months, 3 months, whatever it may be. And then just a subtle reminder to not miss the call, right? Email 3, we're sending that out a little bit before, few hours, evening before that call. We're going to share some valuable insights. So this is just further nurturing. We're going to build trust. We're going to pre-handle some more common objections. We're going to build anticipation for what's going to be revealed or taught on the call. And then we're going to confirm that they're prepared. Now, the last email, it's going to be a couple hours before the call. Zoom call or the Google Meet link is going to be prominent. We are going to handle any last minute objections. We're going to throw in some more case studies or some assets so that they can watch that. And then another brief preview of what we're going to cover on the call, just to get them excited. Now, if someone doesn't show, we need a instant no-show recovery sequence. So we're going to start that immediately after. And it's going to be, it's very simple, right? We're just subscribing them to a new sequence. I notice you missed the call. easy reschedule link, not really throwing any shade, not being mad about it, just trying to get them back on the calendar so that we can get another chance with them. Now, you see the same fitness client from before. After we fixed the landing page, his show rate, like I said, was 61%. That's not that good. It's a lot more bet. It's a lot better than 32%, but it's not where we want it to be. We still had 39% of people who booked and didn't show, which is obviously money on the table. So we added this pre-call nurture sequence, and the results show itself, right? 84% show rate after that. And if you think about it, let's do some money math on that, right? He went from 24 people out of 40 showing up to 34. That's an extra 10 calls per month. And if we keep that same 38% close rate, that's 4 extra clients per month, which is $12,000 if we're selling a $3,000 ticket just from a better just from a better email nurture sequence. It's the same funnel, the same offer, same landing page even. This time we just have some emails. So for part three, it's the sales call system, right? I'm going to be Now, for part three, it is the sales call system. I'm willing to bet that you're either taking the calls yourself, which isn't allowing you to spend enough time on content, fulfillment, and the actual coaching, or you hired some shitty random closer off of Upwork who doesn't even understand the offer, right? They're just winging it. So, all in all, you have no script, you have no objection handling framework, no CRM to track where leads are in the pipeline. So you're just kind of flying blind, which is never a good idea. Even when someone does close, you're not tracking the data to understand why they closed and why others didn't, so that you can make subtle improvements. Now, what you need instead is a complete sales call system. It's a proven, tailored script to your offer, objection handling frameworks, which are custom for your niche, your offer, and what someone might have an objection for. You also need a CRM pipeline to track every lead. So that goes for follow-ups, no-shows, closes. We need to know exactly where a lead is in the pipeline so we can try to get money out of them, right? And not just let them slip through the cracks. And then lastly, we need to record every call. We need to analyze them and optimize them over time. So for that same fitness coach that I'm using as the example, we built this for them, right? We built a sales call script based on his best calls. We recorded his top 10 closing calls, we transcribed them, and we pulled out the language that works for his ICP. And then using that understanding of his audience and what works on those sales calls, we structured a repeatable framework. Now, I'm not actually going to get into each part of this because, to be honest, this completely depends on your offer, your ICP, your niche. But there's a very basic 6-part sales framework. If you want to pause the video and read over it, you can. But you can find this anywhere. I just kind of added it to show you what I normally do, right? It's very dependent on the offer, the niche, and whoever we're selling to. You also want to identify your top objections, right? In this case, we identified the top 5 objections. These are pretty rudimentary, but it depends on where you're at, who you're selling to. They can very much so be different between niches. So for this one, we had the classic, I need to think about it. I don't have the money right now. I want to try it on my own first. I'm not sure if it'll work for me, and I need to talk to a spouse or partner. So once we have that sales call script down and everything, we actually have to build out the GHL pipeline. We built specific responses for each stage in the pipeline, right? So we set up a CRM inside GHL to track every single lead. Every 40K per month coach that I work with has this locked in. I've built this for them. They're not winging it. They have this system so that leads aren't literally slipping through the cracks. And here's the final part that you cannot be sleeping on, and that is the mid-ticket downsell. Probably 80 to 90% of coaches that I see winging everything on their own don't even think about a downsell. They sell one product, and if someone doesn't fit that ICP or can't buy it, they just throw them out the window. Now, we need to fix that, right? Because someone books a call, they love your offer, and they're ready to do it, but they don't have $3,000, $5,000 sitting around. So what do you say? Okay, well, reach back out when you have the money, right? You're never going to hear from them again. You're never going to get a single penny from them. And let me ask you, what's better, getting $500 to $1,000 out of someone or zero, right? And better yet, getting 500 to 1,000 out of someone and then in the future upselling them once you help them get results and make more money. So you can see here the natural way that it goes is we either have the mid-ticket offer, which is usually between 500 to 1500 for those financially unqualified leads. And the offer can be whatever you want it to be, but usually it's templates, frameworks, maybe it's a course. Sometimes it's done with you instead of done for you, as opposed to that high ticket, right? So 3 to 7,000 done for you, or full coaching, one on one. You manage everything, whatever it may be. Because you see, when you have this downsell system set in place, when someone tells you, I love this product, but I can't afford it right now, instead of saying, cool, get back to me when you can, you're going to say, no problem, I totally get it. Would you be interested in this other offer, right? It's 997, and you're going to get all the templates, all the frameworks. I'll coach you through it. Boom. Now you have about 60% of people. And now, out of all those people that can't afford your high ticket, we're converting about 60% of them into 500, $1,000 payments, and hopefully in the future, high ticket payments. Now, here's another real life example. I'm going to use a different client this time. This is a make money online coach. And before, he was just selling a 6K high ticket offer, good close rate, good amount of calls per week. We were doing good money, about 18 to 25,000 per week. But we added a mid ticket, right? Same high ticket offer and close rate, because that's not going to be affected by adding a mid ticket at all. But instead, whenever unqualified leads came through the pipeline, we added $1,000 mid ticket. Now, about 50 to 60% of those people that couldn't afford the $6,000 offer jumped on this $1,000 offer. So we went to making 2 to 3 extra mid ticket sales per 10 calls. So that added an extra $2,000 to $3,000 per 10 calls just through downsells. And that can add up, man. That can be 20,000 an extra a month. That can be 30,000. You can build MRR by doing that. I have one offer I'm on where we sell a $200 monthly subscription as our downsell. And within the past 2 months, we've already generated about $40,000 in MRR, which means recurring revenue. That's locked in. And the funny thing is, adding mid ticket literally bought me a car, right? Because I was getting extra commission, making more money. And I was able to pull the trigger on this C7 Corvette you can see here. Absolute beauty of a ride. But let's get into the complete conversion flow, right? I'm just going to map everything out for you that we've covered today. So obviously you're going to make content that generates traffic, which you drive to that VSL landing page, right? This is mine. You can check it out in the bio if you want to see what I've got going on. You're not sending them to a Calendly or some stupid generic page, right? You're sending them to a landing page that is built for your ICP, built to build trust, to pre-handle objections, and to differentiate you from the competition. Step 2 is the application, right? You're going to convert about 15 to 25. I would say 20% is a good goal to have here. Then the application is going to qualify your leads. Anyone that is qualified is going to be able to instantly book a meeting with you or whoever's closing through Calendly. And you're going to send them to a thank you page. I'm going to make an entire video about thank you page because that's how deep it is. Creating breakout videos, testimonial videos, pre-call video, creating a landing page that is filled with assets that do everything that I talked about, right? So build trust, break limiting beliefs, build authority, everything. I'll make an entire video about that coming up here soon. But then obviously we need to pre-call and nurture, which is included in the thank you page. But then also obviously we have that 5 email sequence like I showed you earlier in the video. Step 4 obviously is the sales call. We're going to use that 6-part script framework built for you and your ICP. And then hopefully, there's going to be a consistent 35 to 45% close rate, and it's all going to be tracked on that CRM. Now, I hope you're not watching this video beating yourself up for not already having these things, because you shouldn't blame yourself, right? You're a successful business owner. You know how to make money, and you understand marketing, sales, content, all of it. But building a coaching backend, it's a completely different skill set, right? You have to learn all of these things down below: how to build VSL landing pages, write email sequences, set up the CRMs, the sales call scripts. You have to learn how to set up automations and work with GHL. It's a headache, right? It's taking me 2 years to get to the point where I'm at now. I don't expect you, who's running a completely different business, to be able to walk in and do all this yourself. Now, I've built this exact system for fitness coaches, sports bettors, real estate agents, e-commerce experts. dozens of niches, like seriously anything. The marketing and the copy may be different based on the ICP and the niche, but the backend itself stays the same. And that's what I want you to understand. You need a landing page that pre-sells them. You need an email sequence that gets them to show up. You need a sales process that closes consistently and a downsell to capture everyone else. Okay, these four things are essential. They're not recommendations, they are requirements if you want to scale your business. And once you have these four systems set in place, I can promise you, you're not going to be stuck at 10 to 20K a month anymore. You're going to be at 40, 60, maybe even 100,000 plus per month because your back end is finally professional. So if you're sitting here thinking my coaching program should be making way more money than it is, you're not probably right. You're definitely right. But the issue isn't your offer. You know that. It's not your expertise. It's not even your audience. It's your back end, right? If you want your dashboard to look like this, you can see this is a $30,000 month I did for one of my clients while I was chilling watching the Australian Open. And I have good news for you because this is fixable. You don't need to be a copywriter, you don't need to be a tech genius or a CRM expert. You just need a four-part system that every one of my coaches that's making 40K a month plus has. So first of all, subscribe because I'm going to keep dropping content. I'm going to keep dropping this sauce, these Miro board videos. So make sure that I show up on your YouTube feed, keep giving you that free sauce. And look, if you just want me to build out this entire system for you, the same one that I've used to generate over $1.5 million for coaches over the last 2 years, check out the link in the description. Watch the quick video I filmed. If you're the right fit, you're going to know it. You can book a call directly with me down below. And worst case scenario, I give you a free funnel audit. Best case scenario, you spend some money and you get this system that is proven to convert.